Assalamu alaikum. Advocate Ameer Hamza here with you. Today we will study Income Tax Ordinance 2001 amended up to 30/6/2024 Table of Contents। आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे इसमें टोटल सेक्शंस कितनी हैं, चैप्टर्स कितने हैं और पार्ट्स कितने हैं और हर सेक्शन कौन सी सेक्शन किस चीज़ को डील करती है। जस्ट एक व्यू लेंगे हम, उसके बाद जो है ना सेक्शंस डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे। चैप्टर वन है प्रीलिमिनरी में आता है, सेक्शन वन शॉर्ट टाइटल एक्सटेंट एंड कमेंसमेंट में आता है। तो उसके बाद है सेक्शन टू है डेफिनेशंस को डील करती है। सेक्शन थ्री जो है ऑर्डिनेंस टू ओवरराइड द लॉ के बाद है चैप्टर टू चार्ज टू टैक्स। फोर टैक्स ऑन टैक्सेबल इनकम। 4A omitted by Finance Act 2014, 4AB subject to this ordinance, 4B super tax for rehabilitation of temporary displaced person, 4C super tax on high earning persons, 5 tax on dividends, 5A tax on undistributed profit, 5AA tax on return on investment in schools. 6. Tax on certain payments to non-resident. 7. Tax on shipping and air transport income of a non-resident person. 7A. Tax on shipping of resident person. 7B. Tax on profit on debt. 7C. Tax on builders. 7D. Tax on developers. 7E. Tax on deemed income. 7F. Tax on builders and developers. 8. General provisions relating to tax imposed under Section 5, 6 and 7। का चैप्टर थ्री टैक्स ऑन टैक्सेबल इनकम, इसके अंदर पार्ट वन कंप्यूटेशन ऑफ टैक्सेबल इनकम। सेक्शन नाइन टैक्सेबल इनकम के बारे में बताती है। 10 टोटल इनकम। 11 हेड्स ऑफ इनकम। इस सेक्शन 11 के अंदर टोटल हेड्स ऑफ इनकम बताए गए हैं, कितने हैं। पार्ट टू हेड ऑफ इनकम सैलरी। सेक्शन 12, 13 और 14 सैलरी को डील करती है। 12 में सैलरी, 13 में वैल्यू ऑफ प्रीक्विजिट्स, 14 में एम्प्लॉयज शेयर स्कीम्स। पार्ट टू हेड ऑफ इनकम फ्रॉम प्रॉपर्टी। Section 15 Income from property. 15A Deduction in computing income chargeable under the head Income from property. 16 Non-adjustable amounts received in relation to buildings. 17 Omitted by the Finance Act 2006. Part 4 Head of Income. Income from business. Division Income from business. Section 18 Income from business. Section 19 Speculation business. Division 2 Deduction General principles. 20 Deduction in computing income chargeable under the head Income from business. 21 Deduction not allowed. Division 3rd Deductions Special provision. 22 Depreciation. 23 Initial allowance. 23A omitted by the Finance Act 2021. 23B accelerated depreciation to alternate energy project. 24 Intangibles. Section 25 Pre-commencement expenditure. 26 Scientific research expenditure. 27 Employees training and facilities. 28 Profit on debts, financial cost and less payments. 29 Bad debts. 29A Provision regarding consumers loan. 30 Profit on non-performing debts of banking company or development finance institution. 31 Transfer of participatory reserve. Division 4 Tax accounting. 32 Method of accounting. 33 Cash based accounting. 34 Accrual based accounting. 35 Stock and trade. 36. Long-term contract. Part 4. Head of income, capital gain. 37. Capital gain. Capital gain on disposal of securities. 38. Reduction of losses in computing the amount chargeable under the head capital gain. Part 4. Head of income from other source. 39. Income from other sources. Reduction in computing income chargeable under the head income from other sources. Part 7. Exemption and tax concessions. Section 41. Agricultural income. Section 42. Diplomatic and United Nations exemptions. Section 43 Foreign Government Officers. 44 Exemptions under International Agreement. 44A Exemption under Foreign Investment Promotion and Project Act 2022. 45 President Honors. Section 46 Profit on Debt. 47 Scholarships. 48 Sports permit under an agreement to live apart. Section 49 Federal Government, Provincial Government and Local Government. Section 50 Foreign source income of short-term resident individual. Section 51 Foreign source income of returning expatriate. 52 Omitted by Finance Act 202. 53 Exemption and tax concessions in the second schedule. 54 Exemption and tax provision in other law. 55 Limitation of exemptions. Part 7 Losses. Section 56 Set of losses. Section 56A Set of losses of companies operating hotels. 57 Carry forward of business losses. 57A Set of business losses consequent to amalgamations. 58 Carry forward of speculation business losses. Section 59 Carry forward of capital losses. 59A Limitation on set off and carry forward of losses. 59 AAA Group taxation. 59B Group relief. 59C omitted by Finance Act 2022. Part 9 Deductible allowances. 60 Zakat. 60A Worker Welfare Fund. 60B Workers Participation Fund. 60C omitted by the Finance Act 2022. 60D Deductible allowances for education expense. Part 10 Tax credited credits. 61 Charitable donation. 62 omitted by the Finance Act 2022. 62A omitted by the Finance Act 2022. 63 Contribution to an approved pension fund. 64 omitted by Finance Act 2015. 64A section renumbered. 60C. 64AB section renumbered. 60D. 64B Tax credited credit for employment generation by manufacturers. 64C omitted by Finance Act 2021. 64D Tax credited for profit of sale machine. 65 Miscellaneous provision relating to tax credits. 65A omitted by the Finance Act 2017. 65B Tax credited for investment. 65C omitted by the Finance Act 2021. 65D omitted by the Finance Act 2021. 65E Tax credited for industrial undertaking establishment before the first day of July 2021. 65 Fs tax credited for certain persons. 65G tax credited for specified industrial and undertaking. 65H omitted by the Finance Act 2022. Chapter 4 Common Rules. Part 1 General. 66 Income of joint owner. 67 Appointment of deductions. 68 fair market value, 69 receipt of income, 70 recompound expenditure, 71 currency conversion, 72 sessional of source of income, 73 rules of prevent double derivation and double reduction, part 2 tax year, 74 tax year. Part third, assets. 75, disposal and acquisitions of assets. 75A, purchase of assets through banking channel. 76, cost. 77, consideration received. 78, non-arm's length transactions. 79, non-recognition rules. Chapter 5, Provision Governing Persons, Part 1, General Concept, Division 1, Persons, 80, Person, Division 2, Resident and Non-Resident Person, Section 81, Resident and Non-Resident Person, 82, Resident Individual, 83, Resident Company, 84, Resident Association of Person, Division 3rd, Association, 85, Association, Part 2, Individual, Division 1, Taxation of Individual, 86, Principle of Taxation of Individual, 87, Deceased Individuals, Division 2, Provision relating to averaging, 88, an individual as a member of an association of person, 88, A, omitted by Finance Act 2014, 89, authors, Division 3rd, income splitting, 90, section transfer of assets, 91, income of a minor child, part 3rd, association of person, 92, principle of taxation, association of person, 93, omitted by the Finance Act 2007. Part 4, Companies, 94, Principle of Taxation of Companies, Section 95, Disposal of business by individual to wholly owned company, 96, Disposal of business by association of person to wholly owned company, 97, Disposal of assets between wholly owned companies, 97A, Disposal of assets under a scheme of arrangement and reconstruction, Part 4, Common provisions applicable to association of persons and companies, 98, Change in control of entity, Part 5A, Tax liability in certain cases, 98A, Change in the constitution of an association of a person, 98B, discontinuance of business or dissolution of an association of person, 98C, succession to business otherwise than on death. Chapter 6, Special Industries, Part 1, Insurance Business. Section 99, Special Provisions relating to insurance business, 99A, Special Provision relating to payment of tax through electricity connections, 99B, Special Procedure for small trade and shopkeepers, 99C, Special Procedure for certain persons, 99D, Additional tax on certain income, profit and gains. Part 2, Oil, natural gas and other mineral deposits. Section 100, Special provision relating to the production of oil and natural gas and exploration and extractions of other mineral deposits. 100 is special provision relating to banking business. 100B, special provision relating to capital gain tax. 100B1, special provision relating to person not appearing in active taxpayer list. 100C, tax credited of certain persons. 100C, Under D, special provision relating to builders and developers. Under T, special provisions relating to small and medium enterprises. Under F, omitted by the Finance Act 2022. Chapter 7, International, Part 1, Geographical source of income. Geographical source of income 101, 101A, gain on disposal of assets outside Pakistan. Part 2, taxation of foreign source of income of resident. 102, foreign source salary for resident individual. 103, foreign tax credited. 104, foreign losses. Part 3, taxation of non-resident. 105, taxation of a permanent establishment in Pakistan of a non-resident person. 106, thin capitalization. 106, restriction on deduction of profit on debt payable to the association enterprises. Part 4, agreement for the avoidance of double taxation and prevention of fiscal evasions. 107, agreement for the avoidance of double taxation and prevention of fiscal evasions. Chapter 8, anti-avoidance. 108, transfer between association. 108, support for independent chartered accountant or cost and management accountant. 108B, transfer under dealership arrangement. 109, registration of income and deductions. 109A, controlled forms company. 1110, salary paid by private company. 111, unexplained income or assets. 112, liability in respect of certain security transactions. Chapter 9, minimum tax. 113, minimum tax on the income of certain persons. 113A, omitted by the Finance Act 2016. Omitted by the Finance Act 2016. 113C, alternative corporate tax. Chapter 10, procedure. Part 1, returns. 114, return of income. 114A, business बैंक account. 114B, power to enforce filing of returns. 115, 115, person not required to furnish return of income. 116, wealth statement. 116A, forced income and asset statement. 117, notice of discontinued business. 118, method of furnishing return and other documents. 119, extension of time for furnishing return and other documents. Part 2, assessment. 120, assessment. 120 से omitted by the Finance Act 2013. 120B, restriction of proceedings. 121, best judgment assessment. 122, amendment of assessment. 122A, revision by the Commissioner. 122B, revision by the Chief Commissioner. 122C, omitted by the Finance Act 2017. 122D, agreement assessment in certain cases. 123, provision assessment in certain cases. 1224, assessment giving effect to an order. 1224A, powers of tax authorities to modify orders. 1225, assets in relation to dispute property. 1226, evidence of assets. Part 3, appeals. Part 3, appeal. 126A, pecuniary jurisdiction in appeal. 127, appeal to the Commissioner. Appeal. 128 Procedure and Appeal. 129 Division and Appeal. Decision and Appeal. 129 Decision and Appeal. 130 Appellant Tribunals. 131 Appeal to the Appellant Tribunals. 132 Disposal of appeal by the appellant tribunals. 133 Reference to the High Court. 134 Omitted by the Finance Act 205. 134A Alternative Dispute Resolution. 135 Omitted by the Finance Act 2002. 136 Burden of Proof. Part 4 Collection and recovery of tax. 137 Due date or payment of tax. 138 Recovery of tax out of property and through arrest of taxpayer. 138A Recovery of tax by district officer revenue. 138B Estate in bankruptcy. 139 Collection of tax in the case of private companies and association of persons. 140 Recovery of tax from person holding money on behalf of a taxpayer. 141 Liquidators. 142 Recovery of tax due by non-resident members of an association of persons. 143 Non-resident ship owner or chartered. 144 Non-resident aircraft owner or charter. 145 Assessment of persons about to leave Pakistan. 146 Recovery of tax from person assessed in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. 146A Initial validity fee of recovery of proceeding. 146B Tax Area Settlement Incentive Scheme. 146C Assessment in the recovery and collection of taxes. 146D Recovery of liability outstanding under other law. Part 5 Advance tax and deduction of tax at source. Division 1 Advance tax paid by the taxpayer. 147 Advance tax paid by the taxpayer. 147A Advance tax for provisions sale tax registered person. Division 2 Advance tax paid to collection agent. 148 Imports. 148A Omitted through Finance Act 2020 dated 13th June 2022. Division 3rd Deduction of tax at source. 149 Salary. 150 Dividends. 150A Omitted by the Finance Act 2021. 151 Profit on debt. 152 Payment of non-resident. 152A Omitted by the Finance Act 2021. 153 Payment for goods, services and contractor. 153A Omitted by Finance Act 2013. 153B Omitted by Finance Act 2021. 154 Exports. 154A Export of services. 155 Rent of immovable property. 156 Prize and winnings. 156A Petroleum product. 156B Omitted by Finance Act 2020. 157 Omitted by the Finance Act 2002. 158 Time of deduction of tax. Division 4 General provision relating to the advance payment tax or the deduction of tax at source. 159 Exemption or lower rate certificate. 160 Payment of tax collection or deduction. 161 Failure to pay tax collected or deducted. 162 Recovery of tax from the person from whom tax was not collected or deducted. 163 Recovery of amount payable under this division. 164 Certificate of collection or deduction of tax. 164A Settlement of transaction liable to withholding tax by SWAPS agent. 165 Statements. 165A Furnishing of information by bank. 165b Furnishing of information by financial institution, including bank. 166 Priority of tax collected or deducted. 167 Indemnity. 168 Credited for tax collected or deducted. 169 Tax collected or deducted as a final tax. Part 4 Refunds. 170 Refund. 170A Electronic processing and electronic issuance of refund by the board. 171 Additional payment of delayed refund. 171A Payment of refund through income tax refund bonds. Part 7 Part 7 Representative. 172 Representative. 173 Liability and obligation of representative. Part 7 Record information collection and edit. 174 Records. 175 Power to enter and search premises. 175A Real-time access of to information and database. 175B National Database and Registration Authority (NADRA). 176 Notice to obtain information or evidence. 177 Edit. 178 Assessment to Commissioner. 179 Accounts document record and computer stored information not in Urdu or English language. 180 Power to collect information regarding exempt income. Part 9 Taxpayer registration. 181 Taxpayer registration. 181A Active taxpayer list. 181 AA Compulsory registration in certain cases. 181B Taxpayer card. 181C Displaying of national tax number. 181D Business license scheme. 181E Record beneficiary. 181E Record beneficial owner. Part 10 Penalties. 182 Offence and penalties. 182A Return not filed within due date. 183 Exemption from penalty and default surcharge. 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189 on 190 exempted omitted by the Finance Act 2010. Chapter 11 Offences and Prosecutions. 191 Prosecution for non-compliance with certain statutory obligations. 191A Prosecution for failure to furnish information in return of income. 191B Prosecution for non-registration. 192 Prosecution for false statement in verification. 192A Prosecution for concealment of income. 192B Prosecution for concealment of and offshore assets. 193 Prosecution for failure to maintain record. 194 Prosecution for improper use of national tax number certificate. 195 Prosecution for making false or miscellaneous statement. 195A Prosecution for non-compliance with notice under Section 116A. Prosecution for enabling offshore tax evasions. Prosecution for obstructing an income tax authorities. 197 Prosecution for disposal of property to prevent attachment. 198 Prosecution for unauthorized disclosure of information by the public servant. 199 Prosecution for abetment. 200 Offence by companies and association of persons. 201 Institution of prosecution proceeding without prejudice to other action. Section 202 Power to compound offence. Section 203 Trial by special judge. Section 203A Appeal against the order of special judge. Section 203B Power to arrest and prosecute. Section 203C Procedure to be followed on arrest of a person. Section 203D Special Judges. 203E Cognizance of offence by special judge. Section 203F Special judge etc. to have exclusive jurisdiction. Section 203G Provisions of Code of Criminal Procedure 9098 to apply. 203H Transfer of cases. 2031 Place of sitting. 204 Power to tender immunity from prosecution. Part 12 Default surcharge. 205 Default surcharge. 205A Reduction in default surcharge consequential to reduction in tax or penalty. 206 Circulars. 206A Advance Ruling. Chapter 11 Admission. Part One Journal. 207 Income and Income Tax Authorities. 208 Appointment of Income Tax Authorities. Section 209 Jurisdiction of Income Tax Authority. 209A Uniform. 2010 Delegation. 211 Power or Refund. Power or Function Exercise. 2012 Authority of Approval. 2013 Guide to Income Tax Authorities. 2014 Income Tax Authorities to follow order of the Board. 2014A Condonation of time limit. 2014B Power of the Board to call for record. 2014C Selection of for edit by the Board. 214D Emitted by the Finance Act 2018. 214E Inserted by the Finance Supplementary Amendment Act 2018. 215 Furnishing of Return Document etc. 216 Dis- Disclosure of Information by Public Servant. 2016A Omitted by Finance Act 2022. Section 217 Form and Notice Authentication of Documents. Section 218 Service of Notice and other documents. Section 219 Tax or refund to be computed to the nearest rupee. Section 220 Receipt for amount paid. Section 221 Rectification of mistakes. Section 222 Appointment of expert. Section 222A Fee and services charges. Section 223 Appearance by authorized representative. Section 224 Proceeding under the ordinance to be judicial proceeding. Section 225 Proceeding against companies under liquidation. Section 226 Computation of limitation period. Section 227 Bar of suit in civil code. Section 227A Reward to officer and officer of inland revenue. 227B Reward of uh, whistleblowers. Section 227BA Reward and benefit for certain persons. Section 227C Emitted through Finance Act 2019. Section 227D Automated Impersonal Tax Regime. Section 227E E-Hearing Part 2 Directorate Journal. 228 The Directorate Journal of Internal Audit. Section 229 Directorate Journal of Training and Research. uh, Directorate Journal Intelligence and Investigation Inland Revenue. Part 3 Directorate General, Section 230A, Directorate General of Withholding Tax, Section 23B, Directorate General of Law, Section 230C, Directorate General of Research and Development, Section 23D, Directorate General of Bo- Broading of Tax Base, 23E, Directorate General of Transfer Pricing, 23F, Directorate General of Immovable Property, 230G, Directorate General of Special Initiative, 230H, Directorate General of Valuation, 230I, Directorate General of Compliance Risk Management, Section 230J, International Central Tax Excellence, Section 23K, Tax Fraud Investigation Wing, Inland Revenue, Section 230, omitted by Finance Act 2005. Chapter 12, Section 2301A, Chapter 12, Transitional Advance Tax Provisions, Section 231A, omitted by the Finance Act 2021, 2331AA, omitted by Finance Act 2021, Section 231AB, Advance Tax on Cash Withdrawal, Section 231B, Advance tax on private motor vehicle, Section 231C, Advance tax on foreign domestic workers, 232, omitted by Finance Act 2002, Section 232, omitted by Finance Act 2002, Section 233, Brokerage and Commission, Section 233A, omitted by Finance Act 2021, Section 233AA, Collection of tax by NCCPL, Section 234, Tax on motor vehicle, Section 234A, omitted by Finance Act 2021, Section 235, Electrical consumption, Section 235A, omitted by the Finance Act 2021, Section 235B, omitted through Finance Act 202, dated 13th June 2020. Section 236, Telephone and Internet users, Section 236A, Advance tax at the time of sale by auction, Section 236B, omitted by Finance Act 2021, Section 236C, Advance tax on sale or transfer of immovable property, Section 236CA, Advance tax on TV plays and advertisement, Section 236CB, Advance tax on functions and gatherings, Section 236B, omitted by the Finance Act 2020, Section 236E, omitted by Section 236D, omitted by Finance Act 2020, Section 236E, omitted by Finance Act 2016, Section 236X, omitted by Finance Act 2020, 236G, Advance tax on sale, distributor, dealers and wholesaler, 236H, Advance tax on sale to retailers. Section 236HA, omitted by the Finance Act 2021, Section 236I, omitted by Finance Act 2022, Section 236J, omitted through Finance Act 2020, Section 236K, Advance tax on purchase or transfer of immovable property, Section 236L, omitted by the Finance Act 2021, Section 236M, omitted by the Finance Act 2018 Section 236 N committed by the Finance Act 2018 Section 236 O advance tax under this chapter Section 236 P omitted by the Finance Act 2021 Section 236Q omitted by the Finance Act 2022 Section 236 R omitted through Finance Act 2020 Section 236X omitted by the Finance Act 2021, Section 236T, omitted by the Finance Act 2016, Section 236 U, omitted through Finance Act 2020 dated 13 June 2020, 236V, omitted by Finance Act 2021, Section 236 W, omitted by Finance Act 2019, Section 236 X, omitted through Finance Act 2020, 236Y Advance tax on person remitting amount abroad through credit or debit or prepaid card. 236Z Bonus share issued by companies. Chapter 13 Miscellaneous. Section 237 Power to make rules. Section 237A Electronic record. Section 237B Price scheme to promote tax culture. Section 238 Repeal. Section 239 Seeming. Section 239A Transition to Federal Board of Revenue. Section 239B Reference to authorities. Chapter 2, Section 240 Removal of difficulties, Section 241 Validation, Section 242 Benefit of repealed provision. First Schedule, Part 1 Rate of Tax, Division 1 Rate of Tax for Individual, Rate of Tax for Association of Person, Division One A omitted by Finance Act 2010, Division One B omitted by Finance Act 2012, Division Two Rate of tax for companies, Division Double A Rate of super tax, Division uh, Double Two B super tax on high earning person, Division Third Rate of Division tax, Division Third A Rate for profit on debts, Division Third V Rate of tax on returning our investment in cost received from a special purpose of vehicle. Division 4 Rate of tax certain payment to non-resident. Division 4 Rate of tax on shipping or air transport income non-resident person. Division 6 emitted by Finance Act, Division 6A Income from Property emitted by Finance Act, Division 7 Capital Gain on Disposal of Securities, Division 8 Capital Gain on Disposal of Immovable Property, Division 8A Tax on Builders, Division 8B Tax on Developer, Division 8C Tax on Deemed Income Tax, Division 9 Minimum tax under Section 113 Part 2 Rate of advance tax Part 2A Collection of tax from distributor, dealer and wholesaler omitted by Finance Act 2014 Part 2 B Rate of advance tax Part 3 a deduction of tax at source Division advance tax on dividend Division One A Profit on debt, Division One B Return on investment in was Division Two Payment to non-resident, Division Third Payment for goods of services, Division Third A omitted by Finance Act, Division Third B omitted by Finance Act, Division Four Exports, Division Four A Export of services, Division Five Income from property, Division Six Price and winnings, Division Six A Petroleum product, Division 6B omitted by Finance Act Division 7 omitted by Finance Act 2020 Part 4 Reduction or collection of advance tax Division 1 omitted by the Finance Act 202 Division 2nd Brokerage and Commission Division 2 omitted by Finance Act Division 2nd omitted by Finance Act 2021 Division 3rd Tax on Motor Vehicle Division 4 Electronic Consumption Division 5 Telephone User Division 6 omitted by Finance Act Division 6A omitted by the Finance Act 2021 Division 7 Advance Tax on Purchase, Registration and Transfer Motor Vehicle Division 8 Advance Tax at the time of sale by auction Division 9 omitted by France Act 2021 Division 10 Advance Tax on Sale or Transfer of Immovable Property Division 10A Advance Tax on TV Play and Advertisement Division 11 omitted through Finance Act 202 dated 13 June 2020 Division 12 omitted by Finance Act 2016 Division 13 omitted through Finance Act 202 dated 13 June 2020 Division 14 Advance tax on sale to distribute dealers or wholesalers Division 15 Advance tax on sale or to retailer Division 15 omitted by Finance Act 2021 Division 16 omitted by Finance Act 202 Double Two Division 17 omitted through Finance Act 2020 Division 18 Advance Tax on Purchase of Immovable Property Division 19 omitted by Finance Act 2021 Division 20 omitted by Finance Act 2021 Division 21 omitted by Finance Act 2021 Division 22 omitted by the Finance Act 2016 Division 23 omitted by France Act 2022 Division 24 omitted through France Act 2020 Division 25 omitted through Finance Act Division 26 Division 27 Advance tax on amount remitted abroad through credit, debit or prepaid card Division 27 Omitted by Finance Act 2021, the second schedule, exemption and tax concessions, Part 1, exemption from total income, Part 2, reduction in tax rates, Part 3, reduction in tax liability, Part 4, exemption from specific provision, the third scheme, Part 1, depreciation, Part 2, initial allowance and first year allowance, Part 3, commencement expenditure, the fourth schedule, rules for the companies of the profit and gains of insurance business, the first schedule, part 1, rules for the computation of the profit and gain from the exploration and production of petroleum. Part 2 Rules for the computation of the profit and gain from the exploration and extraction of mineral deposit other than petroleum. The sixth schedule, Part 1 Recognized Provident Fund, Part 2 Approved Superannuation Fund, Part 3 Approved Gratuity Fund, the seventh schedule rules for the computation of the profit and gain of banking companies and tax payable. Thereon, the 18 schedule rules for the computation of capital gain on listed securities. The ninth schedule, part 1, rules for the computation of the payable on profit and gain of a trader filing under subsection 1 of section 99A. Part 2, rules for the computation of the payable on profit and gain of a trader filing under subsection 2 of section 99A. Part 3, general provision for the trader under Part 1 and Part 2. The 10th schedule, rules for the person not appearing in the active taxpayer list. 11th schedule, rules for computation of profit and gains of builders and developers and tax payable thereon. The 12th schedule, the 13th schedule, 14th schedule, rules for computation of profit and gain for small and medium enterprises. ये थी इसकी टोटल जो है ना सेक्शंस और शेड्यूल्स, जिसको हमने ना यानी कोशिश करी है कि सारी जो है ना याद करने की, ताकि जो है ना अगर वैसे याद ना हो तो कम से कम इसको ऑडियो चला के रख दें, जिससे जो है ना आप जो है ना इसको मेमोराइज कर सकते हैं। तो आज का लेक्चर यहाँ पे एंड करता हूँ, फिर हम अगले चैप्टर 1 से स्टार्ट करेंगे। टेक केयर एंड अल्लाह हाफिज़ एंड प्रे फॉर मी एंड प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल फॉर दिस पर्पज़।